Hello! Oh Christ, I look about 15. Tried to give my hair a bit of a top up. I look like I listen to Pierce the Veil. It's fine. Also my hands are blue, so thought I should address that as well. Today I thought I'd do a pretty general Q&A all about veganism, so everything from my favourite foods, where I get my protein from. I pretty much cover everything, I think, hence why it's quite a long video. As it's Veganuary, I asked on Instagram what questions you guys have relating to veganism. I thought it was the perfect time. I know a lot of people are either transitioning at the moment or they're just looking to cut down on their meat and dairy intake, so every little helps. I'm no expert, obviously. This is all just my own personal experiences, things that I've found along the way. I'm not like a nutritionist or anything like that. If you do want to be involved in future Q&As, please do follow me on Instagram. It's just at YasminJoHowX. I'm going to be doing Q&As every few months about different things. So let's get straight into it. I say that like I've not been filming for 2 minutes already. So the question that this whole video was inspired by was left on my last video, and it was, I would love to see a video on meat substitutes other than Quorn. I don't really know what type of meat substitutes this person wanted, so I've literally gone with everything. So I'm going to read this out because I've done a really long answer. For chicken pieces, I recommend Iceland's no chicken strips. This isn't chicken, which you can get from Holland and Barrett and I think now Waitrose. M&S chicken pieces, and there's a brand called Oomph who do something called the chunk, and that is really, it's got a really great texture. For bacon, I like the This Isn't Bacon, again Holland and Barrett and Waitrose. The Sainsbury's one is also quite nice. We had the pigs in blankets with that bacon for Christmas. For mince, I would say Meatless Farm. Usually any mince that you find in the fridge section that look like meat mince, like it looks like raw mince, they tend to be pretty good. If you are going for a cheaper option, most supermarkets do their own brand vegan mince in the frozen section, which is usually about £1.50. I personally don't like this type of mince. I would rather just use lentils or mushrooms or something like that instead, but if you're looking for that sort of fake meat thing and you're on a budget, then yeah. For meatballs, Sainsbury's own brand ones are amazing. Remy loves them, they're like his favourite food at the moment. For chicken burgers, Quorn hot and spicy chicken burgers are my favourite. I love them so much. Linda McCartney's just brought out some southern fried chicken burgers, they're also really good. We did try the Aldi chicken burgers, which I know a lot of people like, but we didn't really like them. We didn't really think they had much flavour. We did try them the same week that we had the KFC burgers though, so it might have been in comparison that they didn't really taste of much. For beef burgers, if you're going cheap, I would say Morrison's own brand ones. You get 6 for £1.50. You used to get 8 for £1.50. Bloody rip-off. For expensive burgers, I would say Meatless Farm or Beyond Burger. Beyond Burger is very expensive though. You get 2 for £5.50. So that is like, I would rather just go to a restaurant and order the Beyond Burger, to be honest. Vivera shawarma kebab is really nice. A lot of people like Vivera's bacon pieces as well to put in like carbonara or make dirty fries, things like that. I do think the bacon pieces are a little bit salty, a little bit sort of like fake bacon tasting, like very like smoky, but I never really loved bacon that much, so I have had a lot of meat eaters even like the bacon pieces, so yeah, you can try them. Sausages, Richmond sausages are amazing. They taste exactly like the Richmond meat sausages though, so if you don't like Richmond sausages, you won't like the vegan ones. If you don't like them, I would recommend the Sainsbury's shroom dogs. I think most vegan sausages are nice. I think that's the one area that you can't really go wrong with. I don't personally like the Linda McCartney ones, but I know a lot of people like them as well. That was, sorry, I think that was, by itself, I think that was about 3 minutes long, but there is so much fake meat out there now. Number 2, have you tried any good fish substitutes? The Gardein fish fillets are quite good. The Quorn fish fingers are good, but they're very small. In general, I think fish is the one thing that's sort of lacking, but in terms of like the frozen fish that you might have had before, so you know, like bird's eye and stuff like that, then yeah, I would recommend Gardein and the Quorn fish fingers. Yeah, you can't really get anything fancy like salmon or anything like that, I don't think. I mean, some people make their own smoked salmon using carrots, but yeah, it doesn't taste like smoked salmon. Then I got about 1,200 questions about cheese. What cheese doesn't taste like feet? What cheese is actually nice? Like, everyone is acting like vegan cheese is disgusting, and I'm honestly confused because this is something I get a lot. It's something that I see a lot, and I don't think vegan cheese is that bad. I think if you're getting an own brand one, like Sainsbury's own brand, Tesco own brand, they tend to not be very nice. They're very strong and pungent and overpowering, and I don't really like them. I was never really into strong cheese, so for me, Violife, which you can get in pretty much any supermarket, you can even get it at our local co-op, Violife is the most inoffensive vegan cheese. It's the only one really that I think I would have cold. So I have Violife in like cheese sandwiches, I have like cheese and ham sandwiches, just that kind of thing with it. I put it on jacket potatoes, all that kind of stuff. If I'm heating cheese up, so if I'm having it in like a cheese toasty or on top of pasta, I will get the Violife for pizza, which I pick up. There's a vegan shop really close to us, so I get mine from there, but I don't know if it's actually that readily available to get like the different types of Violife. But yeah, Violife is just my preference. A lot of people really like the new Applewood smoked vegan cheese. It was selling out everywhere for a few weeks, and it is really nice. It melts perfectly. It's so good. But it's a smoked cheese, so it does taste smoky, and like I said earlier, I don't really like that smoky flavour, so I wouldn't really put this on a lot of things because I think it overpowers the flavour of what you're putting it on. But Danny loves it. Everyone, I'm pretty sure every single vegan who has tried it loves it. It's like the vegan cheese now. But yeah, I just don't really like it, but maybe try that if you're looking for something that melts well. I'm doing veganuary but missing creaminess. Any ideas? Literally have no idea what you mean by creaminess. I'm gonna assume you mean things like carbonara and like creamy pastas and stuff like that. So for that I would say, I mean, you can literally get vegan cream. You can get Alpro vegan cream, Oatly vegan cream. I think there's probably other types as well. But a lot of people also just buy a block of silken tofu, which you can get in like the Asian food aisle or just in like an Asian food shop. It's like $1.50 for a block of silken tofu, and if you just blend that up, literally just put that in a blender, you can add a bit of milk if it needs it, but you just blend that up and it makes this like creamy white sauce, but it tastes of nothing because it's tofu, and tofu doesn't really taste of anything. So it's a really good base for making pretty much anything. So some people use that to make chocolate mousse, some people use it to make carbonara or mac and cheese. Like you can literally kind of use it for anything, and obviously it's like healthy and full of protein because it's literally just tofu. So yeah, I would definitely say silken tofu is like a good substitute. But yeah, you can just buy vegan cream as well, so it depends what you mean by missing creaminess. That's just how I interpreted it. The next one is what to eat when you're drunk or hungover. Literally anything that you would normally eat but the vegan version. When I'm hungover, I love hash browns. So you can get, if you're in the UK, the McDonald's hash browns are vegan, so are their bagels. You can have a nice hash brown bagel. Wetherspoons do a really good vegan breakfast. It's super cheap, it's like £3 or something. You can get vegan pizza in most supermarkets. The Asda one at the counters are good, so if you're like know in advance you're going to be drunk, then you can like pick up a pizza from Asda. You can get the Goodfellas vegan pizza. Aldi now do 3 vegan pizzas as well. So yeah, whatever you'd normally eat, but just make it vegan. Next question is favourite vegan chocolate or sweets. So my favourite chocolate is the Galaxy range, just because it's the most similar to regular chocolate. So I like the orange one, I like the hazelnut one. I've not had the caramel one because I don't like sea salt chocolate. Vego or Vigo, however you say it, that's really good. That's like the OG vegan chocolate. But it's basically just like a solid, it's like a bar of solid Nutella. It's so nice, so creamy. I don't know how they do it, and like I would love for them to make other flavours, so it's like not just the hazelnut flavour, because yeah, they are so good. Nomo is quite good for like a milk chocolate kind of vibe, but even Nomo, like everyone raved about that, and that just kind of tastes like, you know, if you went to like Sainsbury's and got a bar of like plain chocolate, so not even milk chocolate but just plain chocolate, I think you get like the cooking bars. To me it kind of just tastes like that. Like it's not bad, it's probably one of my favourite vegan chocolates, but it's still not great. But vegan sweets tend to be quite good. There's loads of places online where you can get vegan pick a mix. It's a really good idea to get a vegan pick a mix like once a month if you're the kind of person that likes sweets. Me and Danny have ordered them a few times, and it very much makes you feel like you're not missing out at all. However, there are a lot of accidentally vegan sweets as well, so my favourites are probably Starburst and Sour Skittles. I love the red Starburst, they're my fave. I love regular Skittles as well, but Sour Skittles are just a bit nicer, aren't they? How/where do you get vitamin B12? This is like a really, I know the person hasn't said this in like an arsey way, or I don't think they have, but it's a weird misconception that vegans are like really B12 deficient. Every vegan I know covers their food in nutritional yeast, and it's basically just B12. Like if you don't know what it is, I'll like insert a clip. I've got some in the kitchen, can't bother to get up. It looks like fish food, I'm not gonna lie, it looks like fish flakes. But it basically just has this kind of like savoury, slightly cheesy flavour, and you can put it on anything. You can put it on your beans on toast, on your tofu scramble, on pasta, like especially like creamy cheesy type pastas. A lot of people make their mac and cheese sauce with it. Yeah, you just put it on anything that you would sort of season in that kind of way, and it has B12 in and it's really good for you. Obviously Marmite also has, I always film in front of my window and I always get distracted by the pigeons. Marmite also has B12 in. So I'm pretty sure like there's a lot of our plant milks are fortified with B12 as well. Yeah, if not, you know, you can always take a supplement if you don't like either of those things. But yeah, most vegans I think live off nutritional yeast. How to get the right nutrients and protein when vegan. Again, like similar vibe. Whether you're vegan or you eat meat and dairy, if you eat a healthy diet, you're going to be getting all the right vitamins and nutrients. So like as a vegan, if you are eating vegetables and you are eating chickpeas and tofu and beans and lentils and rice, and you're eating healthy foods, not all the time, but like, you know, at least 80% of the time, then you're going to be getting all the vitamins and protein you could ever possibly need and want. And it's the same as if you're, just because someone's eating meat and dairy does not mean they're healthy. In fact, quite the opposite. I think it's actually harder to have a healthy diet when you're eating meat and dairy, because so much meat and so much dairy is bad for you. But like for protein, for example, yeah, tofu, chickpeas, lentils, broccoli, even stuff like that has protein in, like vegetables have protein in. Iron, obviously again, spinach, kale, like all your greens. Sorry, this is squirrel in the garden, I can't stop looking at it. Chia seeds, peanut butter, like there's just so much stuff that has protein in. I keep clapping to try and get my point across. I need to stop doing that. Does Remy understand there are things you do and don't eat? Has he asked about why friends eat differently? Is Remy growing up veggie and vegan? They were all sort of the Remy questions. If you are new here, Remy is my almost 2-year-old son. He is not vegan, but he is vegetarian and he has an egg intolerance, so he doesn't have egg, but he does have dairy. He doesn't know what's going on. He's so young. I think a lot of people think Remy is older than he is because he looks really old, but he's not even 2 yet. So no, he doesn't understand that there is anything different about him. He doesn't understand that his diet is any different. I would hope that he wouldn't really mind. Like when he gets older, I don't think he would really mind and compare himself to his friends too much. I also think a lot of people are raising their kids vegetarian and vegan, so hopefully he wouldn't be like the odd one out. Obviously, I think it is really something that we would sort of figure out once we get to it, because we just don't really know how he's going to be. For me personally, I chose to be vegetarian when I was about 7 because I don't know how, but I found out where meat comes from. I'm assuming someone just told me, and I was like, that's not okay, that's weird. And I asked my mum if I could go veggie, and luckily she said yes and was really supportive, and actually she went veggie as well. And yeah, it was just so good. And so I would hope that he would actually be grateful that we've raised him vegetarian. But yeah, obviously I've said this before in the past, when he gets to a certain age, if he wants to eat meat, I guess he can, but I'm just never gonna buy it for him because I would never ever fund the meat industry. What's the best way to get into veganism in the first place? I think veganuary is an amazing start. I think there is so much more options available in veganuary. All these, like, that is why Greggs and McDonald's and KFC are bringing out all these foods at the moment, is to try and, well, it's kind of, you know, to get that veganuary money, obviously, because they're big capitalist businesses. But the whole point of veganuary is to help people transition into veganism, and so these companies bringing all these products out only makes it easier for people who usually eat like KFC to then opt for the vegan burger instead. So I think veganuary is a really good time to start, and also the fact that so many other people are starting at the same time, so you've got that sort of community of other people maybe struggling the same way you're struggling, things like that. Other than that, I highly recommend joining vegan Facebook groups. So I'm in Vegan Food UK, Vegan UK, What Broke Vegans Eat, and then I'm in a local one. So I used to be in Leeds Vegans and Vegetarians, and now I'm in Nottingham Vegans. I think joining a local Facebook group is really important because you can find like all the independent vegan places in your town. You can find like what options they have at different chain restaurants. You can find all the shops that are stocking certain new vegan arrivals, like all of that stuff. I think a vegan Facebook group is really great for that, like a local one. Also, vegan Instagram is like a really great community. So I've made my own vegan Instagram separate to my main one because I found I was following way too many vegan pages on my main one and I was like missing other content. So now I've just got a vegan account where I follow loads of other vegan accounts, and it's this really great community where everyone can just talk about food and new recipes and new products and all of this stuff without annoying our friends. Mine and Danny's account is at Vegans Up North if you're interested, and if you want to set up your own account you can just go through who we're following and like follow a bunch of them if you need like a starter pack. But yeah, I think it's really great to have this curated feed of like vegan food. And I think if I didn't follow vegan Instagram accounts from the beginning, I probably would have struggled a lot more, because you can find so much inspiration from them. And yeah, it's really good. I'm trying to talk so fast, but I've literally been filming for 25 minutes already. Any tips for someone who is extremely fussy about food and struggles to eat vegan? And then someone else said, is it possible to go vegan if you have allergies or other dietary restrictions, e.g. can't eat gluten? What I would say, yes, it is possible, by the way. My cousin has a gluten intolerance and she has chosen to go vegan. I think it's a lot easier to be vegan than it is to be gluten intolerant. There's way more choice for vegans than there is for celiacs. However, that also means there's like very limited choice for if you have both of those diets at the same time. So if I was celiac, I don't think I'd be able to be vegan, personally. That's my confession. But like I said, people are, my cousin is, there probably is vegan like support groups for people like that, so you can find ideas of things to eat. But I would just say with that, like maybe just do your best. Like if you have an allergy, then, or with the other question it was like if you're fussy about food, if you have an allergy or you're fussy or whatever, just do your best. Like maybe cut down on the meat you're eating, maybe swap some things over. So if you currently have dairy milk, maybe have almond milk or oat milk instead. Like as long as you're trying your best and you're making positive swaps, like you don't need to label yourself as vegan and be like super strict and everything you eat has to be vegan. I would say especially with the allergy one, if you have dietary restrictions already, by them restricting your diet further by going vegan, that could lead to disordered eating. Like there's just all sorts of things where it's like it's not worth, like going vegan is not worth that. So maybe you could be vegan at home, and then maybe when you go out to restaurants you could not be vegan. I don't know, it's completely up to you, but you really like don't feel the pressure to go vegan just because everyone's currently going vegan. Like it's your own personal decision. You could be vegan 95% of the time. Just do your best. How much do you spend per week on food? We spend £40 a week for 2 vegan adults and 1 vegetarian toddler. We did shop at Aldi, we now shop at Lidl. Either way, they're the 2 cheapest supermarkets you can shop at, so would highly recommend. Why did you first become vegan? Was it gradual or all at once? So, like I said, I was vegetarian from around the age of 7 up until, I'm going to be very honest, when I was about 14 or 15, I started eating meat again. Don't ask me why, and this is exactly why I said that Remy is free to do what he wants when he's old enough, because I knew the truth. I knew all about the meat industry, and for some reason, which I just cannot comprehend, I started eating meat again around the age of 14, and then when I went to uni, I went vegetarian again. So don't really know what happened. I used to blame peer pressure, but to be honest, I just don't know. However, around that time, when I was 14 to 18, I didn't care about a lot of things. I didn't care about myself. I was drinking a lot. I was going out a lot. I wasn't going to school. So the fact that I also didn't care about animals and started eating them again doesn't really surprise me. It's not an excuse, it's just my reason. I think I just kind of didn't give a shit about anything. So yeah, I started eating meat again, and I went vegetarian again when I went to uni, and then I think after about a year of being vegetarian, I'd met a few people that were vegan. It was this was about 3-4 years ago, when veganism sort of started coming a little bit more mainstream. Like you could buy like soy milk and almond milk in Tesco and stuff like that. It was just kind of creeping up a little bit, and I was at uni, I was quite progressive, I guess, quite left-wing, and it just seemed right for me to go vegan, so I did. And then again, when I was pregnant, I went vegetarian, and then I went vegan again afterwards. So yeah, it's been a journey. How do you eat less meat for someone who is picky with veggies? I, as we all know, used to be a complete junk food vegan. It meant I was deficient in like all kinds of things, including iron and vitamin D, because I just ate like vegan cheese toasties and like bowls of cereal, and that was it. But now I'm a lot better with my food. I used to think I didn't like vegetables, especially green vegetables, and then I found out I was just cooking them wrong. I think we all grow up having like horrible school dinners with like boiled veg and just very lazy ways to cook them. They've not got any seasoning on, and it's the same way that if you had like boiled chicken, you'd be like, this doesn't taste good. Like all food needs to be seasoned well and needs to be cooked properly. For me anyway, I realised I just wasn't cooking veg properly, or I wasn't eating veg that was cooked properly. Most veg, if you like saute it or roast it or fry it, it tastes nice. if you season it with like salt, pepper, and then whatever else you like, even just those basic things make the veg taste nice. I thought broccoli was the worst thing in the world, and now it's like my top 3 favourite vegetables. Kale, I hate kale and spinach normally, but if you roast kale in the oven and it makes like kale crisps and they taste amazing. So yeah, you probably just need to cook a bit better. I don't mean that in a nasty way, like honestly I think everyone needs to cook a bit better, including myself. Or you might just not like vegetables, in which case whether you eat meat or not, you're just not gonna like vegetables, so you might as well not eat meat. So I'm gonna end this video. I'm so sorry it's so long, but I really wanted to cover everything. So I'm going to end this video on my last question, which is, what are your favourite things about being vegan? So for me, there is so much I love about it. I love the creativity. I love that it's sort of inspired me to start cooking more. I enjoy obviously the, you know, obvious things like knowing that I'm doing the best I can for like animals in the environment. I love the community, like I love meeting other vegans, whether that's online or events or real life, whatever. Like I just love meeting other like-minded people and talking about food. I love food. So just a few things to end on. As I've mentioned a few times, just do your best. If you're looking at going vegan and you currently eat loads of meat, loads of dairy, you're probably not going to be able to just go cold turkey overnight. So honestly, just cut down little bits here and there, whether it's 1 meal a day, a few days a week, however much you feel comfortable with, and then just work your way through slowly. Make little swaps where you can. Just like every single time you choose to not have meat or dairy or eggs or honey or whatever it might be, you're making a positive decision and you're making like one step closer to that veganism goal. Or veganism might not be your goal. I don't know your life story, but I can't stop looking at the friggin' squirrels. But yeah, just do your best, do what you can. Obviously it would be great if everyone could be vegan, but it's just not feasible. So I'm also very aware that I'm lucky because my partner is vegan. The week I met Danny, he went vegan because he was whipped straight away, and that has been really useful because it means that our food shop, we eat the same foods every single day, so obviously it's really useful. And I'm sure it's really difficult if you want to go vegan but your partner eats meat or your kids eat meat or dairy or whatever. You can't realistically shop for that many people and cook for that many people if you're all eating different things. So I know I'm in a privileged position. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. I know it was really long, but I'm hoping that even if you just found some good advice in 1 or 2 of the questions, then hopefully it helped you in some way. Please let me know if you have any more questions and I'll do my best to answer them in the comments. Don't forget to give the video a like if it helped you in any way. Please subscribe for more vegan and family content, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!